people have reasons for what they do. They're not just wrong. I think that I don't know if you want to call them influencers or coaches or whatever. Not always, but sometimes they position it like that, almost to be like intentionally combative to drive the point home. I know Grant Cardone is huge on this kind of thing, but to your point, like it doesn't have to be this hostile thing. Like we all have our reasons and it works for different reasons. So just understand what's going on in the background. It's really smart.
Yeah. And actually, if I could add to that, even thinking through these educators, right? Some of them a lot of them actually don't want investors to be thinking for themselves in the early stages. And I'll elaborate, right? Because if you think for yourself too, and this is going to be kind of weird here, but if you think for yourself trying to get your first deal, okay, you are going to have not all the time, but more often than not, a lot of analysis paralysis. People don't know what decisions to make, and it's just going to stop them from making them, right? So I think a lot of these education camps do a good job of being like, here are the steps. Go do the steps. Get your first deal. Because they know that's how that works, right? Maybe it's not the most optimal way, but it'll get you to your first deal. And once you get that experience, I talked about earlier how there's an element of conviction and understanding you get once you have that experience under your belt, then go make the decisions on how you want to grow and scale and be like, I didn't like that piece of the process. Okay, go change it, right? But you're not going to go change your process before, no process exists. You can't change a process that doesn't exist, right? And so I don't think the education camps are wrong. I don't think anyone's teaching incorrect. I mean, maybe some people, I don't know them all, right? But
yeah, I'm not going to name names, but unfortunately, I have coaching students that come my direction from going into other camps and getting taught really bad information.
That's too bad.
So it's really unfortunate, but it definitely exists out there. The short list, there's a short list of like really solid people that do it right, I think, in the education space for land. But if you can again, that was your superpower. You knew how to identify those somehow. So I'm just going to summarize, say, guys, if you need to take away this, yes, go pay for education. That seems to be the biggest leverage point, but don't just go pay anybody. Like really know to pick the right people who are going to really be the ROI on your investment on education. So,
I mean, even to add to that, like if you could have anybody that, if you're thinking about doing coaching with somebody, ask for a client if you can talk to a client of theirs, right? Be like, hey, what was your experience? Did you get success? Right? I think that's a really easy way to vet through somebody probably. And if they say no, probably a red flag. Like if somebody's like, no, you can't talk to any of my clients, maybe I wouldn't want to work with them.
Mostly would agree with you, Ajay. The issue I've seen with that though, is that like, everybody has testimonials. Everybody has these canned things that even if they're not a great educator, I mean, when you've churned through thousands of people, eventually somebody's going to stick up for you.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean that the best or anything, but
you're right.
But I mean, in terms of how would a person know that? I don't know. I mean, I guess what you're saying, I mean, that's probably what I would do too. But it's one of those things. It's just not a black and white thing,
I would secret shop. I would cold call I would figure out like, okay, a Facebook group or something of the educator. And then I would go and reach out directly to the students, not have the referrals come from the coach.
Yeah, that's a good point.